Over the years, Team Fortress 2 has brought along some truly incredible works of cinematic art. These intricate bits of film require tons of practice, time, and skill to create, as content creators often pour their hearts out into making what may only appear as a few minutes of entertainment. However, these end products typically result in thousands, if not millions of views. And as you may have guessed, all of these films have one major thing in common. They're all produced in a software known as Source Filmmaker. Not what we're going to talk about today. However, if you want to learn something kind of like a bootleg version of Source Filmmaker, the TF2 replay system is just the feature for you. It's a feature I've used for years to help me make some of the short skits you'd see in my videos, and can help make just about anyone's TF2 videos a bit more exciting than just the average gameplay type footage. And hell, even if you're not a content creator, you may still want to consider watching this, as creating a few replays of your own will actually grant you an exclusive taunt known as the Director's Vision, a taunt you can use to mercilessly mock your enemies. So anyways, in today's video, I'll be showing you guys the ins and outs of the TF2 replay system and just how simple it is to use. Alright, so to begin, what you're going to want to do is click Find a Game and then click Community Servers. Now, under the Community Servers tab, you're going to notice that there's 4 different checkboxes, and the one that you're going to want to click for this is Supports Replays. What this is going to do is basically show you every current community server that's running the replay system. Now, some of these might not be updated, you'll find, as you click in and go into some of these, but you'll just need to experiment around and find one that works for you. Before I created my own server that I use replays on, the servers that I used to consistently use for the replay system were actually the Furry Pound servers. You can say what you want about the name of these servers, but whoever ran these servers ran them very well, and the replays consistently worked for me. So these were ones that I typically used before I created my own server. So what you could do is click on one of these and just press connect. So for this demonstration, I'm going to be using this brand new community map called Sharkbay. It's just a very nicely made community map made by multiple different creators, and I don't know if it'll ever officially get any play or get put into TF2 casual, but hopefully it'll get some views from maybe the competitive scene or creators.tf someday if it doesn't. Anyways, I'll link this map below in the description. Alright, but so for the first thing you'd want to do when you go into a TF2 replay, one of the very first things you want to do is you want to press F6 and start your replay at the beginning of your life. The reason being, you'd think that because this is called a TF2 replay that it would happen after something happens, that it would record whatever just happened in your life, but no, actually you're pretty much pressing F6 to start the replay from the very beginning. So anyways, after you've pressed F6, then you go and create whatever you want to create and get a replay of. So for this demonstration, all I'm going to be doing is basically shooting and blowing up this sniper up on top of this ship. So I'm going to stand still just for a moment. If you like, what you can do is kind of do something just for the very beginning so you know when your replay is actually happening. Because what this is going to do, starting from where I just pressed F6, is it's going to record the entire beginning of your life up until the point where you die. So what you could do to kind of fast forward to the point where you want to get to is just do a little motion, and then from there, start up where you want to start your scene. So 3, 2, 1, and fire. Alright, and after that, you have to pretty much end your replay by dying, so I think I'm going to choose Death by Shark. Once you've killed yourself or been killed by somebody else, what you want to do is wait just a few seconds until the screen tells you that the replay has been registered, and then you can check here with this little icon, this little TV icon, and that's where your replay should render. Alright, so now that we have our fully rendered replay, we can go ahead and load this up. So here we are at the beginning of your replay. Now, like I said, the beginning of your replay is going to start literally from the beginning of your life, not right after something just happened. So here we are starting off in the spawn room of my life, and you're starting off in first-person shooter mode. Now, if you want to change this, what you can do is press your spacebar button and change the camera angle. So you're going to start off, like I said, in first person, but if you'd like, you can switch this to third person, which gives you kind of a controlled view around your character. Or you can change this to free camera, and free camera is basically going to allow you to completely roam wherever you want. So for right now, though, what we want to do is get back to our shot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this into first person, and I'm going to fast forward up into the point where we were literally on the ship about to shoot at the sniper. Alright, so now that we're pretty much back to where we wanted to be for this action shot, what I'm going to do is press the space bar, and go back into free camera mode. Now remember that reference move I told you guys about? Well, that's pretty much what we're going to wait on here. We're pretty much going to wait for the soldier to swing his pickaxe, and then from there we'll know when the action shot is about to happen. So we're just waiting on that any moment now. And yeah, okay, great. So now all I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start pretty much from here. And these little buttons you see at the bottom here are pretty much going to determine where the beginning point of your clip is going to be and where the end point is going to be. So since this is pretty much where I want the clip to start, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the button right here. And as you can see, completely zeros on the timer. That's basically going to start the clip. Now I'm going to press play and I'm just going to wait for my soldier to shoot his rocket. And there it is. So what we want to do from here is, what I'm thinking of doing is following this rocket up until the point where it hits the sniper, and then I'm going to change the camera angle for a dramatic blow-up effect. Now, one thing that would be very hard for me to do right now with the camera going as fast as it is and how fast this shot is going is for me to actually follow that rocket up until the sniper. So if you notice down here, there's actually a timer symbol, and what you can do is change this to change how fast everything on the map is moving at the current moment. So what I want to do is I want to change this scaling down to slow motion. If I move it up here, it's going to go very, very fast. If I move it down here, it's going to go very slow. And then what I want to do to follow that is I'm going to change the free camera speed of acceleration and speed lower. So right now this acceleration is very fast. We want to move that down just a bit, and we want to move the speed just a bit up because the speed is practically non-moving. So we'll move that up. When you want to turn these up is pretty much like if you were like following a character or something around a map and you needed a very fast-paced type zoom. But for right now, since we want to follow something slowly, we want to move this down. So anyways, now with our rocket slowed down and our camera slowed down, we're going to follow this rocket pretty much all the way until it explodes on the sniper. So unpause. Oh, and by the way, whatever you are doing while the timer is running, that's what is going to show up in your replay. So any action I'm doing with the camera right now while this timer is moving is exactly what this is going to look like when the replay renders. So anyways, here we go. So I'm following the rocket, and boom, there it explodes. Now, one other cool thing you can do is I can obviously just change the camera angle so we have a more dramatic shot of the sniper's guts literally going everywhere. But another thing you can do, if you saw under the effects list here, is you can add a shake effect. So from here, what I want to do is I want to move the camera up here, and then I want to pause, unpause really quickly, and I want to add kind of a shake effect right here. Now, you can go just calm with this, or you can go just total insanity and go to earthquake. What I think looks better typically for replays and for YouTube videos is kind of keep this at a maybe a kind of more of a calm, and then just add a really fast shake speed. So pretty much once the rocket hits now, it's going to shake like this. It's going to make for a very dramatic explosion for the sniper. And we can also move the timer to go back to normal speed after it hits. So let's move this back to right about midpoint here, and then let that play out as normal. So now what we could do is if we wanted to end it right there, we would just simply outpoint, click the outpoint, and then save this as sniper explosion. But also, if we want to check and see what this looks like before we saved it, what we can do is just rewind back. This rewinds back to the very beginning of wherever you set the endpoint for your clip. And then you can just replay it and see all the changes you just made with the timer running. So this is what we just created. Here's the soldier take the shot. This is us slowly following it. There's the sniper exploding, and there's the crazy earthquake effect once the sniper is being blown up. And that's pretty much a simple replay. I think we pretty much covered everything. The only thing that I didn't really cover is the rotation filter, because I've never had to use that, and I do not know what it does. So yeah, maybe you could find that under some Steam guide or on Google, but that's pretty much it. Just two small tricks I figured I'd cover, by the way, before I end this video. One is that a lot of creators use this free camera to basically take background shots that are really nice if you want to maybe put some overlay text over something. Say, for instance, I was doing a list of skills for playing TF2, and this one was going to be, say, for instance, know your surroundings. Well, I could put that over this nice little background, and maybe if I wanted, I could do a little zoom on that. Also, what you can do is you can make this a wider shot or more zoomed in. So if I really wanted to just focus on the shot, I could zoom in. Or if I really wanted to kind of have a more wide shot, I could back out. This is done either if you have a scroll wheel on your mouse like I do, or if you don't, you can just go back into free camera and you're going to want to move this around field of view. But it's a lot easier, obviously, if you have the scroll mouse. And lastly, if you can find a green screen map like this one with replays enabled, this is one of my favorite ones for this example. It's just called green screen _ V1, made by that guy. Yeah, there's his Gmail if you want to hit him up. What you can do is go into a green screen type map like this and just do some sort of action with your character. So for instance, I'll run out, look into the camera, which will probably be somewhere over here in my replay, and then run off camera. And then what I can do is with this replay, I can go back and with my editing software of choosing, I can completely take out the green screen in the background with the chroma key effect of your editing software. And then you can basically put your character wherever you want them. So for instance, I'll do an example where I put Heavy somewhere that's completely not Team Fortress 2. Heavy? Heavy, what are you doing in Fortnite? You're gonna go take Muselk back with hostile force? No, Heavy! Heavy, come back! Anyways, that about wraps up this video, you guys. I hope these tips helped you, especially if you're going to become a content creator for Team Fortress 2 in the future. And until next time, this was Big Joey! Later.